What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to give you a good overview of what is happening because based on the technicals, a lot of positive things are actually happening, but something is happening after hours that could change all of this for either the greater or for the worse. So I'm going to go over all the stuff that you need to know. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So based on the technicals, it is currently up 2.74% and it is actually breaking above that 50-day moving average. Historically, Lucid's always struggled with that a lot. And to basically put that in perspective, other than this time period right here in July of 2022 and then ultimately November of 2021, those are the only instances of Lucid actually breaking outside that 50-day moving average. So in general, I think this is a very big accomplishment that is happening today. And keep in mind as well, stochastic is currently at 14. So it is very, very oversold. So it is due for a little bit more of a value rally. And of course, there is something coming after hours today that could really change the dynamic of all of this. Momentum number retail investors are going up. And for instance, when it comes down to Lucid, like I said, and I've been indicating something coming after hours, there is a couple big players in the game that really influence Lucid. One of which is obviously Tesla. So of course, whatever typically happens to Tesla does trickle down to the other EVs. Another comparable company is, for instance, Rivian, because Rivian was started generally at the same time. So whatever does happen as far as supply chain issues or whatever it might be, it does trickle down to the other stock as well. So similar to what happens to Lucid, it does affect Rivian as well. And as you can see, Rivian's Q4 earnings are coming after hours today. So in general though, I don't think people are going to necessarily be caring about earnings per share or revenue, because when it comes down to Rivian, we already know they burn through a hell of a lot of cash. Based on, I think, even the estimates right now, it is estimated to be roughly about $1.94 just for the actual earnings per share for Rivian as a loss. So as you can see, there's 16 estimates done by analysts, and the consensus is $1.94 of a loss. So I think people don't necessarily care about that. It is the future guidance. Similar to what happened with Lucid when they only gave 10 to 14,000 for the actual production targets. They want to know what Rivian is going to happen. For instance, if Rivian comes out and says they're going to do 20,000, so a reduction, that's going to cripple obviously Lucid as well. So like I said, based on the technicals, things are looking very good. But of course, Rivian's earnings could really affect that as well. But of course, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence at the end of the day. I'll give you a quick summary as far as what is happening with Lucid. Based on the options activity, it is very mixed. And over the last little bit, it's a little bit more been orienting towards calls, so insinuating upside is coming. But based on this, there is a lot more puts being purchased. In total today, there's $458,000 worth of put premium was being done versus calls is 417. So I think right now people are very hesitant about believing in the upside coming. But of course, based on the hot chains, it does appear as though that between $9 to $9.50 is anticipated and hopefully to stay there. So of course, this is exactly where Lucid is right now. So around the $9 range. Outside of that though, it looks like the number of buyers that is happening on the secondary market is slowing down a little bit. So once again, the market's only been open for roughly about an hour and a half, give or take. But as you can see here, these are all the transactions that did occur yesterday, and there was some pretty big notable ones. So 4.6 million and 2.31 million. But like I said, I think a lot of big money that did cause that tentative dip in Lucid might be thinking and second guessing it now. And over the coming days might actually be getting back in. And as far as this is all the dark pool transactions. It is a little bit lower. And of course, dark pool is very much linked to shorting. So I'll give you a quick update in that regard. So I am on Ortex as well, just so you guys know. Short score on Lucid is 82. Utilization is 100%. And the reason why I'm also bringing this up, there was actually a post that it does appear that Lucid is actually the most heavily shorted stock, or at least the most squeezable stock. So definitely something for you to keep in mind. Currently 21.77% of the free float is being shorted. 141.25 million shares is in fact being shorted, and 464,000 shares are being returned today so far. And just to put that in perspective on how big this is right now, $1.24 billion worth of shorts are in Lucid. So I think a lot of actual negative suppression has been happening, but hopefully based on the technicals, if it can actually stay above that 50-day moving average, then in theory, things should be trending up. But like I always say, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence at the end of the day. Let me know your thoughts on where you see Lucid going in the short term, or if you think that Rivian's earnings are even going to affect it. Let me know your thoughts on that. As far as what I'm doing with Lucid, I'm probably not going to be buying any more. I did have an increase my position, I think, by 600 right before the earnings. I've been doing covered calls. So as far as this week, I did sell some 950 covered calls. So depending on what happens with Rivian, I might have to roll them over or whatever it is. But keep in mind, I'm still planning on doing a actual tutorial on options on how to potentially benefit from both Lucid going up or down as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And without further ado, I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. If you do like my Lucid content and want to support the channel, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.